in the previous podcast, we talked about how we can possibly plan our time, and we actually talked about the time blocking system where we plan ahead. We plan ahead, and we actually determine how much time we're going to defer to a specific task. And we look at our tasks, prioritize them, do the most complex ones in the morning, for instance, and block 1 to 2 hours to each task, depending on the complexity of the task. And we call these proactive blocks. And then in the afternoon, we had reactive blocks where we actually allocated time for things which don't require a lot of mental strength. So we talk about following up on emails, on phone calls, and that was actually downtime. But today we are actually going to look at another technique. And the technique's name is the Pomodoro technique, which is different to the one we discussed last time. Because in the Pomodoro technique, what actually happens is instead of planning for hours, you can only plan for 25 minutes. So let's say a task will take you 2 hours. What you will need to do is you need to break down these 2 hours into 25-minute slots and actually get the task done by doing many 25 minutes intervals, as much as you need for the task. And that's how it works. And the most fascinating thing is it's actually based on the idea that people can't concentrate for more than 15 or 20 minutes. So since they can't concentrate for more than 15 to 20 minutes, so you make the working slot 25 minutes because they can't concentrate for more than 25 minutes. So what happens in the Pomodoro technique is you work out for a 25 minutes interval, you take a 5 minutes break, and then you work out for another 25 minutes interval, and then you take another 5 minutes break. And after 4 times 25 minutes slots, so if you've done 4 slots of 25 minutes whereby you've taken 5 minutes break between each slot, it's only then that you are allowed to take a 15 to 30 minutes break. And that's how it works. And usually it works for people who can't work for hours. And some people can be physically limited. Maybe they have back pain, they have neck pain, or they get migraines if they look at the computer screen for too long. So for these kind of people, actually this method is quite interesting because it gets the work done. And you work for 25 minutes, then you have a 5-minute break. And in that 5-minute break, you could be walking a bit, stretching a bit, have a coffee, take some fresh air, and come back and attack the work again. So it has its advantages. And there are actually a few people who think that's the best way of working because you have regular intervals, regular breaks where you get to re-energize yourselves in that way, and you don't kill the body in a certain manner because you're taking these 5 minutes breaks, so you're not overworking the body. So it's a win-win situation. The work is getting done and you're taking regular breaks. So that's the Pomodoro technique of planning. Okay, and there are some people who think, like I say, who think that's the only method which is productive. Like for example, Paul Clip said that in 50 minutes using Pomodoro, so in doing 2 slots of Pomodoro, he can actually get done work which could be done in 7 hours. Okay, so work that he used to take 7 hours to do during a day without like any planning can actually be done in 2 times 25 minutes. That's what he said. And And yeah, if that's the method which you think will work for you because of your own characteristic, because of the nature of your work, then you can adopt it. It can actually be quite productive. All right. So just is another method, another technique which you can possibly consider if you think it's going to work for you. Because as we know, different people have different traits, different ways of working, and there's not one technique which will work for every person. So if you think that's your thing, if you think it will work for you, then use it. But make sure you have one way, one strategy of making things work, one strategy of planning. Because if you don't have any technique you can use, then it will be like driving a car without a GPS, wanting to go somewhere but you don't actually know where you are. So think what you're going to do as from now, which strategy you're going to adopt, but most importantly, massive action. The only thing that will make a big difference is massive action. It's not the amount of talent you've born with. It's not the advantages you have as a person. It's massive action. It's always massive action, and it will always stay massive action. To get up and do something.